In 1990, I had a morally ambivalent summer job. I was the magician and inside talker at the Coney Island Sideshow. I got to know the pain-proof man, the anatomical wonder, the human blockhead, and the world champion lady sword swallower. Not only did I get to perform my act over 300 times, I learned a new skill: lying for money. Imagine the platform, and in the center of the platform there is a large coffin-like structure, bright red with a dragon on it. And there are various blades hanging up in display. As the inside talker, that was me, would begin like this. Now at this time we'd like to bring Satina out here on our stage to show you why she's known as the Elastic Lady. She possesses a strange and unusual ability to twist, bend, and contort her body. In order to do this act, she's going to utilize this cabinet. Notice the many slots in the top of the cabinet. There are corresponding slots in the bottom, those to accommodate the 18 solid steel blades. I'm going to shove through the cabinet from top to bottom. Notice also these triangular viewing windows. Well, those are for you folks. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to tell you what you have to do if you want to come up on stage, look in the box, and see how she does this. Satina, please take your space within the cabinet. Notice that she fills out the cabinet quite nicely from the top of her head to the tips of her tantalizing toes. We're going to start with the three largest blades first. The first one cuts the cabinet pretty much in half. The next two blades cut those halves into quarters. And the space within the cabinet gets smaller and smaller and smaller still as the rest of the blades are added. Now, people often say to me, those blades aren't sharp. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're not meant to be sharp. We're not trying to injure the young lady. We're just using these blades as panels to take up space within the cabinet and to give Satina's lithe reptilian body something to twist and bend itself around. So in a couple of minutes, if you decide to come up on stage, look in the box and see how she does this, we're going to ask you not to touch the blades. We're going to ask you not to touch the cabinet or put in anything through these viewing windows, because once these blades are in place, Satina will be unable to protect or defend herself. Now, some of you may be wondering if at this point she's even still in there. Satina, show us your hand. Are you in there? She's in there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, as far as the management of the show is concerned, this act is over. You've just seen everything that you can see from your seats. But Satina has asked us to go a step further. See, she owns the cabinet, she owns the blades, but she's not paid a salary for performing this act. The only way that she can attempt to make a living is for those of you who would like to come up on stage, look in the box, and see how she does this. We ask you in return for a small donation. Your donation could be whatever you prefer, but we ask, since she's trying to make a living at this, that your donation be no less than 50 cents. So please stand up, line up right over here, you walk right across, and you look in, and then you go back to your seat. Oh yes, she's in there, ladies and gentlemen. Bent, twisted, contorted, distorted, mangled, tangled, and fandangled around and among the solid steel blades in the cramped confines of that coffin-like cabinet. How does she stay in that hideous hellhole where you wouldn't expect a dog to survive? For 50 cents, you can find out. Anyway, the people would come up, they would look in, and as I said, this was a morally ambivalent job. Now, as a magician, which I've been doing ever since I was a little kid, you lie all the time. It's all about lying. The handkerchief, which I say has disappeared, has not really disappeared. It's somewhere else. You can't see it. So that's not the lie I'm talking about. But there were a couple of moral problems with this. Number one, as a magician, I hated like hell the idea of letting anyone look in that cabinet. Because to me, it was a beautiful trick. And I would never normally expose a trick. But in this case, the Carney rules superseded the magician rules. But the lie that really upset me, and was very hard for me to learn how to do this, it took many times to get it smoothly. Satina did not own the cabinet. She did not own the blades, and she was indeed paid a salary for performing that act. The only thing she did in the show, besides get in the box, was hold up a snake. So by the carnival rules, though, I deserved the 10% cut that I get. The management got through it. Why do I get a 10% cut? Well, anybody can get in the box, but it takes skill to ding people out of an extra 50 cents. Thank you for your attention.